Hi there, everybody. This is Rev Lorena. It's Celestial Time coming to you from Hartsville, Indiana. And today is it's a monumental day in many ways. We've had Earth Day, we've had the new moon in Taurus, but now we have Pluto. I talked a little bit about this in my last video. Pluto turns retrograde today. Well, tonight, tomorrow. And it's at 24 degrees worth Capricorn. Capricorn's been getting a lot of action lately because Saturn has been in Capricorn. Saturn just moved out of Capricorn the first of the month, but it's going to move right back in. It's going to be turning retrograde here in another minute. Well, in a few days. Days and minutes are the same. When is Saturn is turning retrograde? May 11th. And then it'll just pop right back into Capricorn. But we have had lots and lots and lots of the sign of the leader. Capricorn rules things like being in charge, being the boss, being seen, government, all the things that have to do with being top of the heap, top in chart. But Capricorn builds long, low, and slow. Okay? Capricorn is the testing sign. In old astrology, it's ruled by Saturn. That was a malefic. That was bad. Okay, and Pluto they didn't even know about Pluto way back in the day. But Pluto is rip it out of your gut and get rid of it if it doesn't do any good anymore. And it's not always the most pleasant experience when Pluto happens. But where Pluto is in your personal chart is where you're going to transform in this lifetime. And it is even more than the sign that it's in, because the sign that it's in, it stays in a sign, for a generation sometimes. Although, it's getting late in Capricorn right now, so it's going to move. When Pluto moves into a new sign, it changes the whole dynamic of the world, of people around, not just us, the world, the governments, and things like that. So Pluto getting late in the sign in a few more years, we're going to see it move into Aquarius. And, the dawning of the age of Aquarius came in the 60s. Okay, and, this is the dawning. I can't sing, don't need to. But then Uranus went into Aquarius. When Uranus went into Aquarius, it rules Aquarius. That was back a few years back. It really kicked it in. Okay. Well, Uranus right now is in Taurus. It takes 9 years to go through a sign. So it's 6 degrees Taurus, right? Well, it's 7 degrees. Let's see, 8 degrees right this minute. But as it goes through every 9 years, you notice a cycle of 9 years. There's a cycle of 7 years. That's a Saturn cycle, where every 7 years Saturn makes a quarter of its way around. These are called aspects. In other words, they're different angles in the pool table for the cue balls. But the squares and the opposition, they're the hardest one to hit. The 90-degree angle, if anybody plays pool, or the opposition, you got to hit it just right, or it's not going to go where you want it to go. Well, that's what the squares are. The trines and the sextiles, that's where you just have to put a little English on it, get it sideways in the hole, But it's not as hard, not as difficult. But anyway, Pluto is in Capricorn. Uranus is in Taurus. That's an earth sign. Saturn is going to be back in Capricorn next month again. And then Jupiter, Uncle God, has been in Capricorn. Jupiter turns retrograde in May. Okay. Hey, I misspoke. I was looking at May's ephemeris. These are ephemeris. These are the things we look at when we want to see where the planets are. We don't have to get our telescope out and try to figure it out anymore. Although when I first started astrology, we didn't have computers. I know, I'm old. But we had to use the ephemeris and a thing called a table of houses to figure out where the signs and the planets and the house cusps were. Houses are very important, really. You can learn a lot about your personality by what they call your solar rising sign. In other words, your ascendant is the exact degree as your sun. I've seen it do uncanny things and work out kind of the same way, saying it's like using different words to say the same sentence, you know. But let me see. So let's do a rundown here. Saturn is in Aquarius, but it's going to go back. It's only 1 degree Aquarius right now. It's going to go back into Capricorn for the cleanup. I call that the cleanup committee. Saturn, it comes into a sign. That's what it's doing now as far as Aquarius. So you're going to get learning about the brotherhood of man. Well, look at what we're doing. Here we are learning how to be a community again. Aquarius is all about community. It's all about our neighbors, and what's good for one is good for all. That's what Aquarius energy is all about. It's computers. We're all talking to each other on a computer right now. We can't see each other, but we're using the technology. Aquarius technology. Aquarius is all about sharing the food, sharing culture, sharing everything. We're beginning to have to do that, not on a local level, not because there was a tornado someplace, on a world level. Think about that. It's a world level. Okay. So we're learning Aquarius. Now we're going to have to go back, because that's what Saturn does, goes back into Capricorn and finishes up and applies the lessons of these last 2.5 years, or 2 years, about where it's ever since Donald Trump took office, it's been all about the government. People have thought and looked in the United States anyway, and in the world, because he has made an impact on the world. They pay more attention to the government than usually ever. I never paid any attention to much to the government before he showed up. I just let it run itself, and I was pretty complacent, and I'm sure everybody else was pretty complacent too. And if we're anything now, complacent isn't generally it. Okay, some people just don't want to watch because they can't look, and those are the ones that hide their head in the sand and go, "Oh, please God, I don't want to know." Okay, well, if there's a train coming, I want to be able to see it so I can jump off the tracks. Okay, I'm not saying there's a train coming, but that's the premise. Anyway, Venus is in Taurus, and we've got Uranus in Taurus. And Venus and Uranus will, what they call conjunct. So we'll see some beauty. We'll see some unexpected things. You know, in my life, Uranus rules Aquarius, which rules technology. Venus rules art, music, and it's in its own sign, Taurus. And so I've been watching people presenting their art on the internet because people couldn't go and watch it in person. Isn't it amazing how those two things just work out? Do I think it's a great idea forever for us to know? There's nothing like walking around. I'm a Renaissance person. I have a Renaissance business as well as a hypnosis business, and I used to be a very well, I don't know if I could have ever been really a professional person. I have a sarcastic wit myself, but I used to take clients, and I do hypnosis. I love what I love to do, and if I don't do on the Renaissance that much anymore, I'm going to try and build a clientele in metaphysical hypnosis. Because in truth, all healing is self-healing. And I have, I have a Reiki Masters. I have the menu of different things that I can do, as well as behavioral therapies and all the different things. I would like to apply metaphysical hypnotherapy to clients or to folks that can help them touch their higher mind and their higher consciousness and bring in their own healing. Okay. Yes, I'll help. Yes, we'll talk. But like I said, bringing in your highest wisdom, opening your heart and mind, opening your third eye, shaking the calcification off the pineal gland. All of those things can be done through hypnotic procedures easier than they can through just about anything else. Guided imagery, guided meditation. See me getting excited about this? Perhaps that's what I'm going to be doing more next. I would like that. I truly would like that. But right now, I couldn't certainly invite anyone into my home because nobody's, you got to wear a mask to go out in public. I've been making some dragon masks and some masks for people, and it's been fun. Got me active. Anyway, getting back to today, okay, and this coming months, okay. Pluto has turned retrograde. What that is in a way, it's a reprieve. When Pluto goes retrograde, and Saturn will be going retrograde, it's kind of a time to, okay, what all has happened, and now let's sift through it. Let's process it. Let's figure out where we're going next. Now that it's turning, when it's making a station and turning direct to retrograde, good Lord knows what we're going to see out there. A lot of things are going to be torn apart that no longer need to be there. Okay? And in the world, on the world stage, wow. So just hang on, because there's some things coming. Probably there's going to make some changes, but it's going to take 6 months or 5 or 6 months. That's about how long Pluto is retrograde. I could look, but I don't have my phone. It's easy to look on the phone. I basically can ask my phone, when does Pluto turn direct again? And my lovely phone will tell me. I've gotten so spoiled. I'd have to go find my ephemeris and look for you, and I'm not going to do that right now. It's not necessary. But Pluto is going to go retrograde in Capricorn, and we're going to remake. We have been remaking our idea of government. We have been remaking our idea of boss and who's in charge. You've got to be seen in the world in a different way. Well, a lot of us are working on the computer rather than working in person, so that is seen in a different way. And your talents are going to come out in a different way. Make it good. Make it good. And this spring is going to be highly important in your life. I don't just mean, it's important right now. Wherever you are in your station in life, whether you're young, middle-aged, whether you're in the workforce, whether you're retired, whatever, there's a big change that is happening in the way that you work and face the world. Okay, and it's for the better ultimately. I know this is true, and we're seeing Saturn in Aquarius during this time. And Saturn is the co-ruler of Aquarius with Uranus. Okay? And remember I told you Uranus was in Taurus. Well, Taurus is another earth sign. And Venus is there as well. So it's adding love and beauty to this change. And then Saturn is saying, build different. Saturn is the hour hand. It's the builder. It's the long-term. Build different now. Utilize technology, but don't forget humanity. Aquarius is about technology, but it's all about the neighborhood and your brothers and sisters and humanity and the family. And the matriarchs and the patriarchs of the family are coming back together. I think this is just awesome, and it appears to be working out to our highest. It doesn't seem to be quite as dangerous as it could have been. Although, who knows, between now and next week, Pluto can pull the stopper out, pull the plug on things. It sure can. And down the drain goes the bathwater, hopefully not the baby. All right. I did a reading that has been really pretty spot on a while back. Well, it was April, what was it? April 9th, I believe. April 1st. Okay, it doesn't matter. But it applied, it started applying, and I've been using the cards to apply to the weeks. And the week we're in now is the week of the, we're still in the week of the Eight of Pentacles. Okay? The Eight of Pentacles is about trying to get back to work, about learning new skills, about mastering new skills. So I'm sure some of the folks have had to master their computer skills as well as their office skills. Okay? But that's all this last week. Last week on the 15th, it was a Wednesday that I did the reading, so I went from Wednesday to Wednesday, but it seems to be going from week to week in there. And of course, naturally, they're blurred. I mean, you know, it's not the exact date. So this week has been all about, and still somewhat all about, the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles, as it says, getting around back to work. Well, next week, which really doesn't kick in as far as the reading goes until Wednesday. Okay, but it seems it's coming up a little closer. We have the Page of Swords reversed. Okay, the swords are all about your mind, ideas, consciousness, applying your wisdom. Okay, Page is new ideas, new things coming in. Pages bring you information. They bring you things. Okay. So, as a page, they herald in. Just think about the pages of old come running into the courtyard to, hey, you know, the king, telling the king that somebody's trying to tramp down the moat or something, I don't know. But anyway, when it's reversed, there's some confusion there. There's some false starts. Well, I bet you that we'll see some false starts as far as some of the states opening up, or they could be smart and do it slow, and then it would work out. But there is going to be some confusion. Well, you know, you're going to hear a lot of things, a lot of different information. Not that that's unusual on the news channels. Try and find. I watched BBC. Because they don't have as much invested in our politics, so I get a better idea of what is going on, and trying to put a political spin on this is just insane. But that's what they're doing. But anyway, so you're going to hear some mixed messages. Although swords aren't about messages, they're more about thoughts and actions. So there's going to be some mixed messages as far as actions and reactions and things like that are concerned. Probably some more demonstrations or something about things that they really don't know what they're talking about. Gosh knows what, you know. We're getting into that. And then May, let me see if I can find the ones for May. Nope, don't have them here. It went to the third week in May, but we'll get to that next episode. Tune in to the next episode because we're still going to be here. Okay. But anyway, it's a big deal. Pluto is turning retrograde. And so it's not a big deal in your personal life, most likely. It's a big deal in the world you live in, which directly affects your personal life. Okay? And Saturn is in Aquarius, even for a minute. Oh, I started to say Saturn, I call it ready, set, go, when Saturn goes into a sign. It goes in like it's doing now in Aquarius, and you get ready, seeing what's going to, getting a taste. But then set, it's going to go back, it'll go back out of the sign, and so it makes Capricorn about go. Okay, so all the things that Saturn has been applying and working and teaching us in Capricorn, its own sign, very strong, it will put us to the test. Do we know what we're doing? It's the last of it. So it's go for that. It's ready for Aquarius and go for the Capricorn energy. Right, so when it goes into Aquarius, which Saturn is in Aquarius right now, after it gets done next summer, it'll retrograde, or it'll direct again in Capricorn. and you'll get everything, all the redos in Capricorn, everything that we've been working on the end of this cycle. Well, it also happens to be getting close to the election and the new cycle that's coming in. Yeah. When it moves back into Aquarius next fall, we'll have done everything as a country, as a nation, as the boss that needs to be done. Will the growth happen? That's one of the reasons so many astrologers and so many people can't really define what's going to happen to Trump. There's somebody on here that I watch. She's got a Trumpology report. But Trump, if he learns his lessons, it could be wonderful. Well, not wonderful, but it could be much better. If he learns the lessons and they put him back in, he will be effective, hopefully. If he doesn't learn his lessons, bad things will come of it. Okay? But like I said, he's a king. He is. There's different kind of souls. This is the Michael teachings. If anybody's interested in messages from Michael, he is a king soul. There's not many king souls on the planet. Usually, most of the souls are sages or servants. Not servants like I'm a servant, but coming here to serve. Okay, and that kind of Joe everybody. And we're all part of that journey. But pay attention right now, guys. You're going to see a lot of what's going to be in the future as Pluto makes its station retrogrades and Saturn's in Aquarius. That puts a timestamp on that. And then everything will start to manifest. And Saturn will turn retrograde middle of next month, and then it'll end up back in Aquarius, or back in Capricorn, and we'll get to do a whole bunch more, the same thing that we've been doing. But hopefully we've learned some lessons and we're doing it better, and we take from this time an Aquarian lesson so that we're ready for the next 2 years when Saturn's in Aquarius. Are you ready for the brotherhood of man? Are you ready for the computer age? Are you ready for the space age? Are you ready? Are you? Because that's what's coming. Get ready. Anyway, I'll see you all. Maybe I'll see you at the Renaissance Fair. Maybe not. As I said in another video, my phone has died, so if you need me, I'm usually 832-444-8380. Check out my webpage. Check out my Facebook page. You can find other ways to get hold of me through that. Give me a like and a share. If you'd like your own personal chart done, contact me on my phone or on Facebook or here and let me know. And I do reasonable charts. I will just have your chart in your hand and a basic interpretation with not just computer, with some of my own stuff for $100, and we'll talk on the phone for that. It's not just here's in the mail, read it yourself. But I also do readings on the phone. My readings are $45 for around a half an hour, because I don't want to look at the clock while I'm looking and listening and being with you. So anyway, like and share. Don't forget, it's right down there. Little buttons down there. See them. And let me know. Keep me posted, and hang on to your seats, because we're really getting ready to go into a new paradigm. Bye now.